F1 and welcome back to some more F1 2019 here on this channel. This is part number 8 of my career walkthrough. Now in today's episode we've got the Canadian Grand Prix, but before we get into that we've got a time attack against our rival around Brazil in the Red Bull 2010. So let's see if we can complete this and beat our rival, and then we get straight into the Canadian Grand Prix, which is going to be a difficult one because I've got to take some penalties because I've got a busted gearbox. But anyway, let's get straight to this first and see if we can complete this challenge.
Welcome to today's invitational event, where some of the world's finest drivers will be treating us to a special exhibition of some of the sport's most iconic cars.
Right, so here we go with this challenge around Brazil. So we've got 3 laps within a required time. So we've got to push it as hard as we can. And I've turned off the driver line for this one as well, because I know this circuit quite well. So hopefully I can complete this. Let's see if we can push this car. Oh, this car sounds awesome. And the handling feels a little bit heavier than my current career car. Let's see if we can get it nicely turned in. Be careful on those curbs. The amount of online races I've done around this circuit on GT Sport is, well, they overdone it a bit, didn't they? This was a good circuit. Right, let's just try and hold it. It's got a warning, be careful. Once we've got 1 lap in, hopefully those tyres will be nice and heated up and we can push even harder, because that is that time is going to be very close. Let's see if we can get nice and tight. Really put our foot down. Right, last tricky corner. Right, now we can really push it. Let's see if we can go a little bit quicker on this second lap. So time is ticking down. I think it's going to go down to the final seconds. That's the first lap out of the way. It doesn't tell you what lap times you're doing, so it's really hard to judge whether you're going to complete the challenge. Just hold it as much as I can into that turn. The car feels a little bit more grippy now. Just nice and tight through here. Got a warning through here last time. Let's see if we can stay off the curbs. Just keep it nice and tight. That was much better. Yes, that's how you do it. Used to the car now. Ooh, a bit of a slide there. Come on, let's do this. Today's race is going to be very tricky around Canada, I think. Hopefully we don't get wet weather, because I've seen a lot of people race around Canada in the wets and don't look that great. It's not a circuit I know that well, and we've got to take some penalties, so I don't know how many positions we're going to lose because of that, but I've got no choice, because in the last race, if you watched it around Monaco, the gearbox was absolutely giving me, where it was just failing. It wouldn't shift into certain gears, so we're going to have to take the penalties. Right, it's the final lap. This is going to be so tight, and I absolutely love this car. Definitely going to be using this one again. So get nice and tight through here. Push as hard as I can. If we can do this first time, that would be brilliant. Too bad. I cannot wait for the GP to be around this circuit. Hopefully by then my car will be in a better shape and we'll be able to push for a podium. Well, we haven't got a podium position yet. I think the best position we finished is 5th. But there's always hope. Right, final corner, and there's 25 seconds to go. We should be able to do this. Oh, this has been an awesome challenge. I like this one, but are we going to beat our teammate though? Hopefully we will. And across the line. There we go, done. Well, we passed. our rival though. Don't know whether it tells you. Wow, it doesn't actually... Oh, it's not against the rival. It's just a challenge. Right, so we managed to do it in 3 minutes and 39. That's not bad. Right, let's get into today's GP race. Oh, this is going to be insane.
Congratulations on your success in the invitational events. It might not help you in the championship standings, but it definitely helps to build your reputation.
I try my very best. Right, let's check out our messages before we jump into the practice session, because I'm hoping that we've got some upgrades for today. And, oh yes, those downforce ones went through in the end because they failed in the last episode, and a weight reduction. That is brilliant. But I have had to replace a couple of parts on the car which were failing, and this is going to cause us a massive time penalty. So we're going to be bumped down the order, so we really need a good qualifying today. So fingers crossed that I can put in a decent time, but like I said, I don't know Canada that well, so it is going to be tricky. We're just going to have to keep our fingers crossed, so let's get straight into it.
Hello and welcome from the circuit Gilles Villeneuve, home to the Canadian Grand Prix, for today's qualifying session. Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction. And over the course of a lap, it's easy to get that balance wrong. And that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now, and it never gets any easier.
Right, let's see if we can put a steady qualifying lap in. I mean, we weren't that far off the pace in the practice session. I think we were about 5th fastest, so we just need to push it a little bit more because we are going to get a penalty today, so we are going to probably race from the back today. Right, let's see if we can nail this chicane. This could be a tricky one. I have had a few penalty warnings. Let's see if we can nail it this time. It's always tricky through there. That wasn't too bad. That is as quick as I can go through there. You've got to grab a bit of curb through there. Right, let's just keep it nice and tight through here. Still very cloudy, so I think the race is going to be slightly brighter, so the times might be slightly quicker. As we try and carry as much through there. Wow, that's not bad through there. And we've got a purple sector for sector 1. Just trying to hold it onto the curbs there. And I have mucked around with the setup today. I think you've got no choice for this circuit to try and take as much as you can through those corners. Again, just grabbing as much curb as you can without getting a warning. And I had to follow some of the faster cars just to see the lines they were taking through the corners. Oh, I just caught the side there. That is going to cost me a little bit of time. Right, we've got to nail the chicane. Going to get an amazing time here. We're sitting P7 at the moment. Right, through there. Oh, that was a bit too much curb there, but I'm going to take it and across the line. And what position? And oh, we're currently sitting in P1. Unbelievable.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top 3. Hamilton, Carlson and Sebastian Vettel. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
That bloody Mercedes is so OP, and we dropped down to 2nd, but I'm happy with that. Now we just have to see how many positions we lose with the penalty. Right, let's have a look at the rivalry breakdown before we jump into the race, and we've come out on top ahead of our teammates. And Devon Butler didn't have a very good qualifying. That was a surprise. I thought he'd do a lot better, but at the moment we're doing really, really well. And we need as many points as we can get to spend on our car. And, well, anyway, let's see how many positions we lose with this penalty.
So, unfortunately, we've picked up some grid penalties, and we'll be starting further back than you expect. As for how bad it is, that'll depend on what the other drivers get.
So there is still hope that other drivers may have some issues as well. That is promising. It looks still cloudy for the race. But anyway, let's get straight into it, and we're just going to have to give it 110%. So here we go.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. It's one of the fastest races of the season here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 60% of this 2.7-mile circuit taken at full throttle. There are 14 corners to navigate, the very last of which has its very own infamous history. It could be the cause of a safety car today. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Can I get your take on Ferrari? They've had just one retirement in the last 5 races. What do you think that says about the reliability of their car?
It's a good statistic for sure, as it demonstrates not only mechanical reliability, but consistency from both drivers as well. These are 2 of the first boxes you have to tick for any successful season.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Bottas, Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and Gasly, Perez, Weber, Butler and Kimi Räikkönen. Carlson, they've taken a grid penalty. Ricciardo, Alexander Albon and Russell. Kubica, Kvyat, Lando Norris and Antonio Giovinazzi. Grosjean and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Expected to be in a higher grid position than this. Let's push.
Right, so here we go with the Canadian Grand Prix, sitting in P11 after that penalty, but we're going to have to take it and see if we can get a good start. And it's all go! And that's not too bad, and we are behind our rival Devon Butler. Let's see if we can get up the inside into first turn. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Let's just down the outside. We've got to try and take as many places as we can, and we haven't got a bad pace in sector 1. We've got to take advantage of that. We've taken a couple of places behind Gasly and Lucas Weber, and we've taken Gasly. That is an awesome pass. Can we hold the position, and can we get past Lucas? Yes, we can, in the inside behind Perez and Leclerc, and we're up to P7. What a start to this Canadian Grand Prix, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. It's only early days, and we didn't take any damage, but we've got to look at our engine, because we have had some issues in previous races, and we've only sort of changed the gearbox, but we haven't changed other parts which are almost on the way out. Right, let's just try and slow it down into this turn, and let's see if we can get amongst the fights with Perez and Leclerc in the Ferrari, and that is not too bad. We're in his slipstream. DRS is not going to be activated for a couple of laps, so we've got to try and keep pace. We're in the rich mix still. So let's see if we can just keep a nice position on the outside here and slow it down into the chicane. And oh, what a move! And we've managed to take 2 people in that chicane. I knew they would go a little bit wider, but Perez is going to come down the outside, but we've got the inside line, and we've managed to hold that position, and we're into P5. Let's say that again, P5. We started in P11. This is an awesome start to the Grand Prix. Now we've just got to settle into a rhythm. Now we have got a pit strategy. I think we're coming in on lap 4, so we need to put in some decent laps and try not to, well, we need to push these tyres, but not too much, so we lose the control of the car or have any accidents. But if we can latch onto the 3 in front, we've got Verstappen in front of us, and he has set off really well as well. Let's see if we can just catch up with him. Just try and push as much as we can, and we've got to be careful, because Perez can be very, very aggressive in the corners. Right, so let's slow it down, take a little bit of a wider line, and we've got to avoid hitting that side like we did on our qualifying lap, and that is not too bad. And we need to maybe back off the rich mix in a minute, because we don't want to run out of fuel in this race, not when we're in such a decent position. Right, let's see if we can nail the chicane again, and you can grab quite a decent amount of curb. but you have to be very, very careful that you don't grab too much. We can't afford any penalties, and we've just been told that DRS is available, and this is brilliant news. So let's see if we can just keep up with these. Now, we have had one message saying there's something wrong with our ICE, but I haven't felt any effects from that just yet. So let's just keep hoping that's not going to affect us too much at this stage. But we have just got a purple first sector as we've just latched onto these three, which is bloody awesome. And that is exactly what we needed, just so we can just edge away from Perez. Right, so slow it down. It's a nice turn, and we are behind Verstappen, and now DRS is available as well, which is going to help. Now we can really close in on this three. I think Hamilton's just probably disappeared in the distance. I'm looking on the track map, he has extended his gap, and that's not too bad. No, don't get a warning. We can't afford any penalties. That was a little bit too much curve there. Taking a risk, and oh, we've hit the fastest lap. Probably helped with that little bit of exceeding the track limits, but sometimes you have to take a risk. Risk and reward, as they always say. Right, let's just try and stick with these three, trying to push as hard as I can. And we just had a message. We've got some engine wear as well. That is not what we want to hear. Not at this stage. We're sitting in P5 and we're sticking, and we've got the fastest lap. We're sticking with these three as well. It's just, oh, this is unbelievable. We've had this sort of start. It shows the potential this car has at times. We're really starting to feel a bit of tyre wear now as well, which is not helping. And we're going to be pitting in very, very soon. So we've got to try and stick with these three. It's not too bad round there. Can we get a little bit closer, make sure we've got in the DRS gap? Yes, we can. We can drag them a little bit, but we've got to change our tyres because I'm feeling that they're not that great. So we're going to go for the pits, and I think this is a perfect time. We're sitting in P5. If we can come out and try an undercut, we might be able to stick. If we can even finish in 5th, that would be an amazing result. But like I said, I'm not going to get too ahead of myself. And that was not a bad pit. Well done, team. 2.3 seconds. Not like the record, which was, what, 1.9 in real life around Silverstone, which was just insane. But it's still decent. Right, so we're going to come out, but we've got to try and negotiate some traffic. We should be able to make an overtake here. Let's go down the outside. We've got to take some places here because we're getting really bogged down behind this traffic, and that is not too bad. And so that is one position taken. Really trying to push now. Now we've got a bit of heat in these mediums, but we do need to get past some of this traffic. You will see some cars coming into the pits over the next couple of laps, so we've got to try and make our way through. And that's a nice inside line down. Giovinazzi behind Norris, and our teammate is in front of him. They haven't pitted yet. They're still on the softs, and they're probably feeling a lot of wear now. So let's see if we can just take advantage. So we've got a little bit more pace, and I really want to finish. If we can finish at least in the top 10, that still would be very, very good. But any further down, that would be amazing. I mean, if we could just keep that 5th position once everyone's pitted, I would be so happy. Right, so we should be able to get Norris here. We've got him in the DRS zone, but let's just try and hold it on the outside here as they go a little bit wider. We should be able to make some passes, slow it down, and we weren't the quickest through there that time, but we should be able to get a little bit closer. We need to take some more places. I think there was a couple in the pits then, and oh, there he goes. There goes Bottas, come flying out the pits, and he's already, look at him, look how OP that Mercedes is, and he's already taken a couple of places already. See, this is what I need to do. I need to get past this bunch here. They're really slowing me down. Right, that's a nice move. Can we make it onto the curb? And oh, that was a bit risky, but we got past Norris, and we're right behind our teammate. We want to make a clean pass. We don't want to make anything happens with with our teammate. We want him to finish in a decent position, so let's see if we can make it a clean pass. And we should be able to get him on this turn. They're not the quickest round this turn, so let's go up the inside. There was a bit of tyre smoke there, someone slammed their brakes on, and that was a nice clean turn there, and we should be able to just move away from our teammates. Yes, that is done, so we are up to P16. We've made a couple of places. As my teammate is going to come down the outside of me. What are you doing? And just trying. Oh, he's gone into the pits. I thought he was going to try and overtake me then. Right, so my teammate's in the pits now, and we should be able to just get past these last remaining back markers. There's a couple more. Let's see if we can just hold it nice. We're starting to really feel the decent grip of these mediums now. We should be able to put in some faster laps. That's a risky move there, but I've taken it, and we are up to P10. So we should be seeing the rest of the cars coming into the pit soon. So let's see if we can latch onto the two cars in front and hopefully take them too. Kubica is being so defensive, I cannot get past him and get into P5. I'm losing pace with the cars in front of him, and I really do want to push it, so I'm going to try another move here down the outside. This is going to be a really tough move to get him on this corner. He's going to hold that inside line. Can we just beat him? Oh, it just glitched again. That is still an issue. They really do need to fix that. That really annoys me. And we've managed to take the position anyway. So we are into P5, which is the position we were in when we pitted. But is Kubica going to come back round us? He is. He's got in the DR zone, and he's overtaken us again. So we're going to have to back off, because he's going to have a better line going through the chicane. And we have to overtake him again. And Bottas has just beaten my fastest lap. So he is on the surge, trying to chase down Lewis Hamilton. So it's all going down. So we're on lap 10. There is still 8 laps to go, and we need to be a little bit more careful, because we've actually gone a lot earlier, and these mediums may not last. And we really do need to get past Kubica again. We are so much quicker than him, but he is really putting up such a battle, and it is really making me have to fight. So I am starting to sweat now. Racing on a steering wheel, I've got the force feedback up on 150 and my arms are aching, but I really want to push as hard as I can right to the end and see if I can get a better position. It has been such a good race. I absolutely love this circuit now. Right, so we're going to make the same move as we did on the previous lap. Are we going to be able to keep it this time? So we're going to go down the outside. Let's try not to hit the wall. And that wasn't too bad, and we've just managed to squeeze past, but he's probably going to drag us down the straight and overtake us again. Oh, he's going in the inside this time, so he's going to try and hold that inside. Let's just try and be careful. Oh, Leclerc's just gone down the outside of us. What the hell? He came from nowhere, and what the hell did Kubica do there? He went into the pits. Why was he in the inside? What an idiot. Has he caused any damage? Oh, I don't think he's made any damage to the car, but what an idiot move that was. Why didn't he go on the outside if he was going into the pits? I just assumed because he was on the mediums he had already been in the pits. Just need to bring it home now. We're sitting in P6, which is a fantastic position to finish in, considering we had that grid penalty. We started in P11 and we've battled all the way through this race. This race has been action-packed. I've really enjoyed it. So let's just push all the way to the end, and it looks like we're not going to catch up with the Ferrari. We tried to catch up with Leclerc, he just had too much. Every time I got close, he just managed to pull away. But, oh, so Lewis Hamilton wins the Canadian Grand Prix, and we're going to finish in 6th position. But our car has really started to fall to bits. We had so many warnings in that race, but we got to the end, and that's all that matters, and we take 6th position. There you go. Unbelievable. I am so chuffed. That is like a win to me. So there we go, 6th position.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team. and they certainly deserve it. Let's see what effect this result has had on the driver's standings. Lewis Hamilton takes the lead. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
I have to give it to Carlson. It has to be said, Roman Grosjean certainly had my eye today. He made impressive gains during the race. They fought so hard and had incredible pace at times, so I don't think anyone else did a better job today.
Let's move on to the constructors. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. It was also a strong Grand Prix from Haas F1 this weekend. Fantastic work from the American team to move themselves further up the table. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
Driver of the day for the first time, and I think I earned that. And like he said, I had fantastic pace, which I did all the way through the race. I had the fastest lap only up until the end when Bottas beat my fastest lap. But yes, I really enjoyed that. So let's have a look at the standings. We're still in 7th. That's not bad. We are picking up points here and there, but overall, it's been an awesome round, and I've really enjoyed the Canadian Grand Prix. Right, so let's have a look at the rivalry breakdown. I think we came out on top again. We've literally shown our rivals exactly how it's done, and I'm really happy that we keep on smashing in some decent results. But we do need to get this car into shape. We really need to sort of figure out what we can do to stop all these things failing on us. We had the ICE failing, we've had the gearbox, so that loss of power and all that is affecting us so much, and we just need that little bit extra to get on the podium. So hopefully, with a little bit of hard work, we're going to get there in the end. But overall, it's been a fantastic episode. Please don't forget to smash the like button, leave your comments in the tab below. Please help me get this series right up there on the channel. I really appreciate all the support, and I will be doing some online stuff very soon as well. You've seen that we've got a league. I will be doing some ranked races as well, so look out for them. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you and goodbye.